is natural for one to develop a facade to influence how people perceive us. Some project an image of perfection to mask their basic insecurities. Others don't have the luxury of worrying about first impressions. And some people find their best intentions often backfire. Yes, we all veil our truths, but how we leave an impression is what defines us. For some people, tragedy creates a burden too overwhelming to bear. And while mourning may provide relief for many of us, for others, it does nothing to alleviate their pain and suffering. In Frank Fox's case, it only fuels his rage toward the people who committed this heinous act. And we run the risk of watching one tragedy quickly lead into another.
May I speak with you for a moment? Sure. Well, as I'm sure you're well aware, there's an ongoing investigation into Daniel Fox's murder. We haven't had much success getting information on the perps. If you're interested in getting the details, the officer on post at the Fox house should be able to fill you in. Who knows? Maybe you'll be able to help us out.
Sorry to bother you, but I need to talk to you about something. Daniel became a part of our little group, our clique. This tragedy is affecting all of us. In honor of Daniel, I'm putting together a little get-together around 7 tonight. To be honest, you seem to be taking it better than the rest of us. I'd really like you to be there. People just seem to listen to you. I think they find you to be a soothing presence. You can do one of two things. Talk everyone through their feelings of loss. Or pour some stiff drink so we can forget about it for a few hours. Personally, I think overt emotional displays are crass, but Susan thought it was a good idea. By the way, we all made a pact to wear the dresses that Daniel created for us for the fashion show. I assume you'll join us? We would all appreciate whatever you can do to help.
I guess I'll see you tonight, right? So, yeah, I'll see you at Bree's place tonight, around 7. Sure, I'm looking forward to it.
you're safe. And so, the cycle of life continues. With graceful speed and temerity, the swooping falcon descends upon the...
I guess I'll see you tonight, right?
...from his grasp.
So, yeah, I'll see you at Bree's place tonight. Sure.
But it's too late. The madly flapping assailant has already begun to claw and peck out the eyes of the hunter.
Listen to this. I really just need to handle one thing at a time. I guess I'll see you tonight, right? So, yeah, I'll see you at Bree's place. Sure.
Hey, boy.
I guess I'll see you tonight, right? So, yeah, I'll see you at Bree's place tonight. Around 7. Sure. I'm looking...
Good day to you, ma'am. Is there something I can do for you? You just cut right to the chase, don't you? I'm sorry, but at the moment I'm unable to disclose any information to you regarding Mr. Frank Fox, and I certainly can't let you speak with him. I was told to stand here and see to it no one went inside. This is a crime scene, you know.
Hey, you. I've been running around like a chicken with his head cut off lately. Let's just say the whole murder in the neighborhood thing isn't exactly a boon for the real estate business. I've been so busy rustling up prospective clients that I haven't been able to spend time with Carl. Quality time, if you know what I mean. In the bedroom, in case I'm not being clear. Right now, I'm on my way to check out another house going on the market. I'll take care of Carl tonight. And it looks like you're already talking to someone. A handsome someone, if I may say so. Is this strapping young policeman here giving you a hard time?
No, ma'am. I'm just following orders.
And you're doing an excellent job at that. Tell you what, why don't I fill her in instead?
Wait.
You're looking for Frank, right? I don't know for sure, but I can tell you where I think he is.
Miss?
You actually just missed him.
That's confidential information, ma'am. I'd appreciate it if you refrained from divulging information regarding Mr. Fox as he relates to this case or his whereabouts to anyone other than an officer such as myself.
They put him in a squad car just a little while ago.
Hey!
I don't think he was under arrest. Officer Friendly here didn't even put handcuffs on him. He did let me play with him, though. Besides, Officer Kyle's not the type to manhandle a perp.
Wait a minute, how do you know Kyle?
I was his date to the policeman's ball last year. Trust me, he is more than adept at handling a woman.
But they canceled last year's policeman's ball.
Well, why else did they have all those handcuffs and men in uniform in one place? You're new on the force, aren't you?
I'm not that new.
Don't worry about Frank. I'm sure they just wanted him to look through mugshots or something.
He'll be there for a while before they take him to the safe house.
Well, there you go, from the lips of cute little Officer Friendly here. He's at the station if you want to see him. You've been so much help. Maybe I'll put in a good word with Officer Kyle.
Thanks, but don't tell him what I said about Mr. Fox.
Oh, don't worry. My lips are sealed. At least when it comes to talking.
Hello? It's not something you need to be concerned about. I'm not ready to talk about that yet. I have to go now. Bye. Why do you need to know? I'm not ready to talk about that yet. I have to go. Sure, we can talk for a minute or two. I've been doing a lot of talking today. First, an officer talked with me at my house. Then I was questioned in a small room at the precinct. And then after that, I was questioned again not too long ago once we got to this dump. Upset? No, not really. I don't want to talk about it. I gotta go now. But why do you need to know? I'm not ready to talk about that. The loss? My brother was killed. Don't try to soften it. I'm not ready to talk about. I'm down at the police station right now. They're calling it questioning, but they've been grilling me for hours in this godforsaken, freezing cold room. They have me doing all sorts of crazy things here at the precinct. The last thing I want to do is answer more questions. They just finished questioning me. Now they're taking me somewhere else for my safety, which sounds like a load of bull, but whatever. We're headed to a safe house. I've been told that I'm not supposed to talk about it, but they can all go to hell for all I care. And if that bothers them, tough. On a day like this, I have the right to be a little pissed off. Right now, I just want to get out of this place. These cops are making me nervous. I respect cops and all, but it's starting to make me feel like I've done something wrong. My brother was the goddamn victim here. Protect and serve my ass. The loss, right. I'm holding up all right. Right now, I'm just taking it day to day. There really isn't anything I can do from here. What do you mean? If you think you can, then do it. I'd like to help, but it looks like I'll be stuck in some seedy motel somewhere watching the boob tube. Oh, right. So, you're gonna need to do some legwork if you plan on finding anything out. If you have any way of finding out what the cops actually know, that would be a start. Sounds like a plan. Get as much information as you can. We'll figure something out from there. People like talking to you, so it shouldn't be hard. And keep me updated. If I'm in the loop with this whole thing, I won't be going stir-crazy in here.
Good day to you, ma'am. Is there something I can do for you? Why, certainly. What did you want to talk about? Oh, okay. Well, I suppose that holds true for some of the other guys, but I'm not really like everybody else. The job comes first for me. However, if I should happen to have a stimulating conversation with an attractive passerby, I wouldn't be one to complain. So, what's your name? And you were good friends with Daniel? It must be difficult having something like that happen in your own neighborhood, huh? You seem like a nice enough person. I can tell you a little bit about the case. On the night in question, there were 2 suspicious persons milling about the neighborhood. There were also 2 sets of unidentified prints discovered at the Fox house. Coincidentally, there are 2 convicted felons living on Wisteria Lane right now that I suspect we'll be investigating pretty soon. Michael Solis and Carlos Delfino. Also, Daniel was slain at 11 p.m. on the night in question. So if you ask me, this is what I think happened. But I told you that in confidence. I plan on bringing that up with the chief once I collect more evidence. Yeah, just keep that between us. Okay. Well, I'll be right here. Hey there. What's going on? So you're a woman on a mission, huh? I like that. Well, I'm not in much of a talking mood right now. I figured you had something quick you wanted to bring up. Ah, so you know where I'm coming from. Good. I can't tell you how many times that jerk's told me he was going to do something and then completely flaked on me. Exactly. Like just the other day, Mr. Famous Fashion Designer asked me to stop by and look at a leaky faucet at his place. I had some things planned that day, but I decided to be a good neighbor and make time for him. Granted, it wasn't until later in the day that I came by, but still, I was doing him a favor. It's only common courtesy that he's around when I stop by. When I called ahead to check and see if he'd let me in, he's not home. Then Susan called me up and invited me over for an early supper. Since I figured Daniel would call at any minute and rescue me from Susan's chattering, I agreed to have dinner with Julie and Susan. Dinner became dessert, became coffee. No call from Daniel. By the time I was able to escape, it was pretty late. I figured Daniel would call to apologize the next day. We spoke in the morning, but I didn't get a hold of him for the rest of the day. But nothing since. Not on my cell phone, and nothing since I'm back in town. It's like he just dropped off the face of the earth, which is a bit of a relief, because he's such a pain in the butt. But I know he's gonna call. He always does. Probably just when I'm about to fall asleep tonight. Wait, what are you getting at? That's not the kind of thing you joke about. Wow, I don't even know what to say. I already told you everything I know. I was with Susan and Julie that night, sort of a dinner and kidnapping combined, since Susan didn't seem to want to let me leave. Anyway, I left around 11. As soon as I walked in the door, Susan called me and then proceeded to talk my ear off for an hour or so. You know how she can get. Yeah, good luck with that.
Oh, hey. If you're looking for my mom, she's in the kitchen. You know, there's something I've been meaning to ask you. How are you dealing with everything that's been going on? Don't you think that kind of job is best left to the police? Uh-huh. And I suppose you have a plan to get to the bottom of things. Mike, you don't really think they believe Mike did it, do you? Right. Actually, there were 3 of us here. Me, Mike, and Julie. Hey, what's going on, Mom? We were just talking about Daniel Fox. Oh, man. I still can't believe that happened right down the street. How's Mr. Fox holding up? I haven't seen him since before the incident. Edie mentioned that the police took him in. Not as a suspect, but to protect him. But that's not the weird part, Julie. Mike is considered a suspect. Mike? But he was here that night. I remember because you did everything in your power to stop the poor guy from going home.
Julie, you're being silly. It's just that it was late, and I was worried about him walking home alone at that hour.
Mom, he lives across the street. The poor man drank 4 nightcaps trying to be polite. Then as soon as you saw him walk into his house, you called him on the phone.
As it turns out, this is a dangerous neighborhood. I wanted to make sure that he got home safely.
Is that why you talked to him for almost an hour on the phone?
Oh, give me a break, Julie. Who's been on the phone every night this week gossiping about people at school?
Is it my fault that Danielle Van de Kamp gives it up to any boy who asks? I'm just doing the right thing and spreading the word.
By now, I'm sure you're not the only one that knows that.
I'm sure lots of people know by now.
Well, let's move on now. We're getting a bit off the topic at hand. Back to Mike.
What else is new?
Look, we can't let the police think he had anything to do with Daniel's death. It's just ridiculous.
Over there! Look out!
I guess you're right. Well, problem solved then.
You can do, Sarge. I'll save you a seat in heaven.
All right. See you around.
Hey. You came by to talk to me?
Carlos, who is it?
Why don't you come out here and find out for yourself?
Why do you always have to have something smart to... Oh, hi. No, we're fine. Why don't you come inside for a minute? Daniel's murder did have us all a bit shaken up. It's still hard to believe.
It's unfortunate that something like that had to happen to Daniel. He had his whole life ahead of him. Wait a second. What does Daniel's death have to do with us?
Yeah, what can we tell you that we didn't tell the police? We didn't see anything.
They suspect me. I went to jail for embezzlement, for Christ's sakes. I'm not a violent man.
Yeah? Well, they're wrong. Carlos would never do anything to hurt Daniel. I know for a fact that he couldn't have that night. We were both home and in bed by 11. Actually, I wasn't exactly following my normal routine that night. See, earlier in the day, Carlos tried to drag me into another one of his charity benefits.
Oh, here we go.
I'm not talking to you, sweetie. Stay out of it.
Listen, honey, she came over here to talk to me.
Carlos doesn't want you to know that he threw a fit because I didn't want to go to his little party. Oh, we fought about it for hours. Then we had the makeup sex. Then we fought again. Then more makeup sex.
Yeah, we didn't make the charity event, but I definitely gave it my all.
For your information, I had a number of appointments scheduled that day with a number of business professionals.
Uh-huh, and which professional was it this time? Henri? Pierre? That guy with the mole?
It's called a beauty mark, and that doesn't make him any less of a professional. Anyway, I had to keep my appointments and wound up pushing my workout back to the end of the day. So, I didn't go for my run until much later that night. And Carlos came home right after I did. We were together for the rest of the night.
Yeah, we still had some issues to resolve. Upstairs, if you know what I mean.
Carlos, have you ever heard of such a thing as too much information? I just remembered something else from that night. It involved whipped cream, strawberries. Actually, when I was running back home, I thought I saw two people milling around your house. It was pretty dark. I guess my eyes could have just as well been playing tricks on me.
Did you tell the police what you saw?
No. Why would I tell them that? I could have been seeing trees blowing in the wind or something.
That's the kind of thing you tell them, even if you're not sure. This way they can investigate. That's what they do, Gabby.
Well, I definitely didn't see anything out of the ordinary that night. I'm sorry I can't help you out any further.
Why are you apologizing to her for not seeing anything? God, Carlos, you can be such a wimp sometimes. And another thing, Carlos.
Hey, Mom. What's up? That's a really strange question. Don't you remember? I was grounded. I didn't go anywhere that night. You know what's funny? If you and Dad would just let me stay out later, I'd probably be able to help you out right now. I told you I was in all night. I was playing Utter Warfare online with this guy I know from the web forums, Double Trouble. I figured since nobody was home, I'd crank the volume up pretty loud, so there's no way I would have heard anything. Are you done with the interrogation now, Mom? Geez, you know what? You're worse than Danielle's mom. The both of you make a habit of nagging and bugging people. Why can't you just leave me alone? Why are you so hung up on this? I mean, I know he wasn't your boyfriend or anything. He didn't even play for that team, did he? Other than you and his brother. Who's really gonna miss him anyway? Look, Mom, I'm sorry your friend is dead, but I don't know anything. I promise. So drop it already. Hey, Mom, did you want to talk to me? Oh, nothing. I just don't want to talk about it with my mom, that's all. All right, I'll tell you. Have you ever done something that you regret? Like, I mean, it's not something super horrible. I didn't hurt anybody or anything like that. Maybe another time, Mom. Hey, Mom, did you want to talk to me? That's just my supposed friends. They're just jerks sometimes, that's all. Now they wanted me to do something that I didn't want to do. Why do they have to do that? I think you're right. I hadn't thought of it that way. It doesn't matter, Mom. Thanks for the words of wisdom. Hey, Mom. Did you want to talk to me? I do, but it's really hard to. It's kind of a confession that I have to make. Remember when I told you that my friends were trying to pressure me and they wanted me to smoke pot with them? But I didn't do it. I didn't do it because before we moved to Fairview, I tried. It just made me feel weird. All I did was sit around and do nothing. Actually, it was... So you aren't mad at me? I'm not in trouble or anything? Oh, what a relief. I feel so much better. Well, thanks for understanding, Mom. Hey, Mom. Did you want to talk to me? I do, but it's really hard to. I'm not sure how to... It's kind of a confession that I have to make. Remember when I told you that my friends were trying to pressure me into doing something I didn't want to do? They wanted me to smoke pot with them. But I didn't do it. I didn't do it because I regret that I did it before we moved to Fairview. I tried marijuana. It just made me feel weird. All I did was sit around and do nothing. Actually, it was... So you aren't mad at me? I'm not in trouble or anything? Oh, what a relief. I feel so... Well, thanks for understanding, Mom. Hey, Mom. What's up? Mom, what is it with you? Don't you have something else to do? I don't know anything else. Jeez, why don't you just go off and conspire with Mrs. Van de Kamp about how to ruin the rest of my senior year? Because I don't have anything else to say to you. Now what? So, how well did you say you knew her again? That's so messed up. No, I understand. Hey, Mom. What's up? Mom, what is it with you? Don't you have... I don't know and conspire with Mrs. Van de... Because I don't have anything else to say to you. Hey, Mom. What's up? Mom, what is it with you? Don't you... I don't know anything and conspire with Mrs... Because I don't have anything else to say to you.
Hello, dear. Did you want to see me? What about? I don't have the time. I'm really busy at the office these days. Why can't you speak with him? You're absolutely right. I'll speak to him tomorrow.
Yeah? What did you want? That's actually pretty cool. I wanted one, so I got one. That's actually pretty cool. Yeah, I was up pretty late, but I didn't hear anything. They're always on my case. Hey, Mom. What's up? Mom, what is it with you? Don't you have something else to do? I don't... And conspire... Because I don't have any...
Hello. What a pleasant surprise. To what do I owe the pleasure? I'm afraid you're wasting your time. I don't know anything about Daniel's murder. There's only one thing that comes to mind when I think of that night. But it certainly isn't going to bring Daniel's killers to justice, so it's probably better not to speak of it. And you know exactly what I'm talking about. What? I never said anything about Etta. That was the night your son attempted to court my daughter. You might want to get the poor boy a dictionary then. That night, he and Danielle were coming back from their date. I caught Danielle trying to sneak back into the house. She knew better than to stay out that late. I assume your son was the bad influence. I saw them coming out of your house looking guilty as sin. And then your son had the nerve to try to sneak in with Danielle.
Mom, haven't you done enough? Now you're talking to the neighbors about this? Haven't you embarrassed me enough already?
I'm not trying to embarrass anyone, dear. You do more than enough of that for the both of us. Needless to say, they were surprised when I greeted them on the porch. I sent your son home immediately. Then Danielle and I had an interesting talk that evening. Do you know what this means?
Yeah, it means we were out that night.
I used to think my Danielle was incapable of hurting a fly, but she is susceptible to dangerous boys.
Do you seriously think I'm capable of that? The police said Mr. Fox was killed at 11 that night. And if you remember, you sent him home way before that. You went off on your whole high and mighty, and of all things, on a school night tirade and sent me to bed. Besides, I refuse to defend myself. You're insane for even thinking this. If only Dad were still alive.
Danielle, you will always be my daughter. But after what this family has been through, and especially after what you've put me through, it will take more than a few words for me to trust you again. Considering you never even told me what you two were up to that night.
Ugh.
Well, if Danielle doesn't have anything to tell us, there's just one person left. Your son. Maybe you'll have more luck getting the truth out of him.
My name is Parker. Do you want to hear me count?
Hey, Mom. What's up? About what? What? Why don't you ever trust me? You're just coming from out of nowhere with all this. And I know you're making this up. You can't prove anything. Ugh. That girl just can't keep her mouth shut. Okay. Danielle and I went out that night. But nothing really major happened. So, I didn't feel the need to bring it up. After Mrs. Van de Kamp finished her angry diatribe, I left and came home. And that's the truth. Nope. I did see someone standing outside the Scavo house talking to some car. I don't know. I guess it could have been Mrs. Scavo.
We haven't talked in a while. What's new? That said, he was my neighbor and I was hoping he'd be my friend. It's an awful tragedy. I think we're a bit old for the whole detective thing, but go ahead. What do you need? I'm not sure I can help you with anything, but let's give it a try.
Who knows? Maybe we both can help. What's the problem? Listen, I don't know what your eyewitness was smoking, but Lynette barely has enough energy to lift herself into bed at night, let alone chat with some stranger.
Yeah, this is a little bizarre anyway. I was asleep by 9 o'clock that night. Who thinks they saw me? It's crazy.
What? Is this your game? Spreading rumors about my wife? You know, I've heard some things about your son. I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, but he sounds like nothing but trouble.
Whoa, everyone calm down. I was in bed by 9 that night, so it obviously wasn't me your son saw. Where was this car?
The lost ruin of Thirstopolis, just as the natives promised. Indeed, Stevens. Finally, after years.
Yeah, hope he's not spreading these little assumptions any further than you. You know, to be fair, I do remember something strange from that night.
Not me. I was sound asleep.
Yeah, my little watchdog here. Wouldn't wake up if a tornado ripped the roof off the house.
Refreshment. It's just a case of Senor Quincy's malt beverage. Yes, indeed, Stevens. Isn't it beautiful? See how the frosty bottles glisten in the torchlight. It looks so cold and smooth. Oh, brother, we have that back home. Marvelous. It's all I ever dreamed it would be.
I sleep soundly. Is that a crime?
Here, open one up for yourself. Thank you, sir. You do realize we have this in virtually every market back in the city? We didn't need to come all the way down here to have a cold bottle of Senor Quincy's. Indeed, young Stevens.
Anyway, Tom was fast asleep. Some noise had woken me up, and I couldn't get back to sleep.
Yeah, she's like that. Her mind's always racing. Needs a horse tranquilizer to get her back to bed.
Idea. I'll go ask the natives if they can point us to the lost city of comfortable Pouchius or the forbidden ruins.
But maybe we should get back to helping out with this case.
I'm out of here. Hand me another bottle for the road.
So, what do you remember that night?
I was looking for something to read to help me fall asleep, and I thought I left it on the windowsill. When I looked, there wasn't any magazine, but I saw Gabby on the sidewalk. She was running around the neighborhood.
Are you telling me that Gabby was running errands at midnight and decided to stop and have a conversation with a stranger?
No, Tom, she was literally running in her very tight pink jogging outfit. You know, the one you're always staring at.
Of course. That makes sense now. Gabby was flirting with some guy. It's actually pretty funny that anyone would think you were flirting with someone.
Tom, what are you implying?
You just don't flirt. Well, often. You don't flirt often.
Now that I'm a mother, am I supposed to be asexual now? Is it out of the realm of possibility that I might flirt with a man and that a man might find me to be attractive? Okay, I don't mean to be rude, but Tom and I have a few things to discuss.
Hey, boy. Dogs love meat. Even meat from animals you've never heard of. Lambco's meat snacks are imported from...
Hey, what's up? What do you mean when you say holding up? There isn't anything really bothering me about it. I don't know what else to tell you. You know, I get enough people asking me how I feel these days. Do us both a favor and don't add your name to the list. Daniel was just a neighbor. People come and go. Usually they just move. This time it was just a little more exciting than usual. Well, I'll say one thing. He was the only person around here with any taste. I'll definitely miss that. No offense, of course. Okay, good. It's just that Carlos says that I don't think before I speak. But he can be such an idiot sometimes. But yeah, I'll miss him. And the collection of samples he kept in the basement. I wonder if he left them to me in his will. Without him, I'll never be able to start that clothing line we talked about. I was going to be the face, and he was going to be the brains. Not that I couldn't do it all myself, of course. I had a friend of mine draw up a business plan, and I took some new pictures for the cover of the catalog. I certainly can't go into business on my own. Where am I going to find another premier fashion designer in this town? Now that he's gone, I have to find something else to do with my spare time. If I'm not careful, I'll be scouting out the high school football team again. Oops, did I say that out loud? Don't worry, I don't feel that way at all. On me. I know what you're going to say, and no, I really don't want to talk about Daniel anymore. He was a good guy and a great potential business partner, but he's gone now, so what's the point of dwelling on the past? Ow! What's with you? Listen, Miss Thing, you're in no position to judge. Right. Well, thanks. Hello. You wanted to see me? I'm aware of that. Now what is it you wanted? Oh, wait. I have to run. I'm late for my massage appointment with Ulrich. Toodaloo. Hello. You wanted to see me? I couldn't have said it better myself. Actually, I'm sure I would have found some way to compliment my cute new hairstyle. You're so lucky. You obviously have no idea how good you have it. Just imagine what it would be like if I wasn't your neighbor. No European luxury cars driving past your house. And when would you ever see such expensive jewelry up close? The mall. I really have to run now, or I'll be late for Ulrich, my Swedish masseuse. But... Hello. You wanted to see me? I couldn't have said it better myself. Actually, I'm sure I would have found... You're so lucky. You obviously have no European luxury cars driving past your house. I really have to run now.
Hello, neighbor. Just a reminder that we're still expecting you to join us this evening. Well, it is the proper thing to do, isn't it? It's times like these where we all have to stick together. Appetizers will be served in 10 minutes. Don't be late.
Hey there. I feel just fine. I have to say, I'm a bit distraught. Just everything, I guess. I mean, Daniel was such a sweet man. And charming and witty. He was like one of the girls. Sort of. We even invited him to poker night. And we don't do that for just anyone, you know. Who would want to do something like that to someone like him? Sometimes, it just seems like there isn't any kind of justice in the world. I don't know what he could have possibly done to his assailants, but he didn't deserve to die over it. Thanks. It's nice to know there's someone that understands what I'm going through. I can see why Bree invited you over. You always know just what to say.
Hello, can I help you? And by that, I assume you mean the brutal murder of Daniel Fox in our own neighborhood. Well, to be honest, his death caused me to examine certain aspects of my own life. That said, I think there really is more going on here than meets the eye. I simply don't believe it was a random act of violence. Oh, come now. Are you telling me you're not the least bit curious about how it all transpired? Was he pumped for information? Did he have something they wanted? Oh, perhaps he even owed them money that was borrowed to support some reprehensible drug habit. Now, don't get me wrong. It's quite unfortunate Daniel had to pass in the manner he did. But at the same time, can you honestly tell me you're not even the slightest bit curious as to just what went on in that house? I mean, for heaven's sake, why would Daniel, of all people, have need for a gun? Makes you wonder about what else was going on in the Fox house. Would I need? I don't suppose I ever looked at it that way. But in all fairness, you have to admit we are in the midst of a very strange situation here.
Hi. Considering what happened to Daniel, it's amazing I'm here at all. Tom had to talk me down from buying a house in one of those godforsaken gated communities. Well, Bree said we should bring it all out into the open, which is so unlike Bree. She's usually so uptight. To be honest, Tom and I are convinced she doesn't even go to the bathroom. Can you believe something so horrible happened on our street? Okay, let's talk about how foolish we were to think we were safe living in this bubble. I mean, truth is, there's no such thing as being absolutely safe. It's really scary. I have 4 beautiful, albeit annoying, kids. I'm sorry to dump it all on you like that, but that's how I feel. All mothers develop their own form of acute paranoia. It's instinctual, but now there's a tangible reason for it. What if my boys had snuck out of the house that night? I don't even want to think about it. I don't know. With all that's happened to Mary Ellis and then Rex, I'm thinking the street might be cursed or something. At least in a gated community, there's some real sense of security. I don't think I'm being unreasonable. I take it you know something I don't. Well, if that really is the case, and it wasn't a random act of violence, then it certainly puts my mind at ease. Thanks.
So, you're here too, huh? To be honest, Bree's cooking was the deciding factor for me. But I prefer to look at it like this. He came, he sewed, he croaked. In that order. It's also morbid. I think it's high time the rest of us get back to living it up. There's a whole world of things we could be doing right now instead of sitting around crying into our drinks. Personally, I think we should forget the grieving process and try to get to the bottom of Daniel's murder. If you ask me, I think that brother of his is to blame. He's always acting so weird. Mind you, he's not Zach Young weird, but give him some time and they'll be fighting for the Wisteria Lane weirdo crown. Oh, please, you don't know any more than I do. I'll bet Frank's the kind of sicko that actually enjoys playing Little Mr. Innocent, while everyone else is running around town looking for the real killers. Whatever.
Hey!
Well, I just... Well, you should have said that in the first place.
Hello. To what do I owe the pleasure? Can't really complain. Life is good. Business is good. Edie's good as well. I appreciate your concern, but everything's fine between the two of us. It is surprising that you managed to get a hold of her, though. Oh, I'm hardly bitter. Right now, the real estate market is taking a beating, so Edie has to work a little harder to keep up her numbers. We're not joined at the hip. But no matter how busy we get, we make time for each other, like any normal couple. That's very considerate of you. Most women don't seem to see it that way. They just see it as a weakness and try to exploit it. When people hear about trouble in paradise, you can't tell what to expect from them. Some seize the opportunity to tear the two of you apart the second they see a weakness, and others sweep in like vultures and try to break up the relationship for their own personal pleasure. I don't think I quite follow you. You want to run that by me again? So, what if I do? What do you want to do about that?
You guess you'll have to do what? Yeah, hi. Were you hitting on my boyfriend?
Don't mind her. She's just pulling your leg. Aren't you, Edie?
Of course I'm joking. This is almost funny. The two of you should know better than to try to hook up behind my back. Not without asking me first, at least. I thought I'd knock off early and come home for a pick-me-up. Now that we've dispensed with the pleasantries, I really need to talk to Carl for a moment. You can wait here if you want to, but we're going to be about an hour or so.
We are?
Yes, we are. Give or take about a half hour, depending on whether you want side dishes or just the main course.
I'll take the works. Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, thanks. I'll see you out. It's no trouble at all, really. Bye-bye.
So, tell me, did you find out anything new about Daniel's case? Okay, what's up? I told you I went out running that night, didn't I?
Gabby, what is she talking about? Just what were you up to that night?
I don't know. There was some guy.
Some guy?
No, wait. 2 guys, actually. They were really confused. Of course they had names. The one that talked with me in the passenger seat. His name started with an L, but I can't remember what it was. Well, they did freak me out at first, but he was just asking for directions. It was pathetic. The guy tried to flirt with me. I mean, come on. He was driving last year's model. Did he think I'd even give the time of day to a guy in a car like that?
Whoa, back up, Gabby. Who was this guy? Why was he flirting with you?
Carlos, it's not technically flirting if it's one-sided. And trust me, this was one-sided. I was just being nice. Besides, I don't usually fall for the kind of guys you see on the FIB's most wanted list. Unless you were on it, sweetie.
Gosh, thanks, I guess.
What exactly do you want to know?
Tell us exactly what happened that night, Gabby. Everything. Then our friend here can find out what she needs to know and do her little detective thing somewhere else.
Right. Well, I was out running and... And that was it. See? You were all getting excited over what turned out to be nothing. These guys got lost. They pulled over and I gave them directions. And then they went off on their merry little way. Sorry. No clues or red herrings or anything, Sherlock.
Just out of curiosity, where were they going?
Oh, they wanted directions to the Fox house.
They what? God, Gabby, how is it that this is the first time we've all heard about this?
Come on, I mean, what's the big deal? They were lost and I was trying to help them. I was just trying to be helpful.
Well, you sure picked a wonderful time to start. Do you have any idea what this means? You're an accessory to murder, Gabby. And you withheld information from the police. Hell, I could be violating parole just for being around you. They could throw me back in jail. Is that what you want?
How would I have known what they were up to? I don't see what the problem is. I mean, they would have found the house sooner or later. He's in the phone book, you know. Like, are they the worst criminals you've ever heard of? Having to ask directions to a hit. It's just pathetic.
I think you should take a deep breath and listen to what you're saying. All right, just forget it. I don't want to hear any more from you. You've done enough. At least we have a better idea of what went down that night. And lucky you. You managed to get an eyewitness that found a way to help facilitate the murder, but somehow can't remember the name of the killer who tried to hit on her.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, your guess is as good as mine. I'll say one thing, though. She sure is taking her time.
Okay, I'm back. This is for you. It's the guy's phone number from that night.
You kept his number?
Now I remember. His name was Leonard, but my friends call me Leo. Yeah, didn't do much for me when he said it either.
What reason could you possibly have to keep his number?
Oh, relax, Carlos. I put it in my pocket and just forgot about it since then. Like you'd expect me to wear the same hoodie twice?
Well, it's very convenient, isn't it?
Hello? What? Okay, where do I talk into? Hey, Vinny, what am I supposed to do? How does this work?
Jesus Christ, are you a moron? You talk into the phone and say something like, leave a message after the beep. Or Big Sammy sleeps with the fishes. Your choice. Hey, what are you doing? You're recording right now. You gotta start over. I don't want my voice on your stupid answering machine.
This is Edie Britt, Britt Realty. Can I help you? Well, I do cover that area, but it's all the way across town from where I am right now. I won't have an opening until 2 weeks from today. Can I pencil you in for then? Around noonish? No, I'll meet you there in 30 minutes. Sure I do. See you in a bit. Bye.
Hey, you're back. I know I didn't get rid of her. Did you have something to do with that? Hey, you're back. I know I didn't get rid of her. Did you have something to do with that?
Ruin of the Solis, just as the natives promised. Indeed, Stevens. Finally, after years of searching, I have found the hidden temple of ultimate refreshment.
I'm pretty thirsty. This jungle heat is unbearable.
If the legends are true, just inside this chamber, we should find what we have come for.
It's been fun.
There it
Again
is.
soon.
The ultimate refreshment.
It's just a case of Senor Quincy's malt beverage.
Yes,
what's
indeed,
going on?
Stevens. Isn't it beautiful? See how the
Why did you
frosty
get yourself
barrels
involved
glisten
in
in the
that?
torchlight. It looks so
All right.
cold
Well,
and
I'm
smooth.
here if you need anything.
Oh, brother. We have that back home.
This is Vincent.
Marvelous. It's all I ever dreamed it would be, and more. Stevens, here. Open one up for
Okay,
yourself.
shoot.
Thank you, sir. You do realize we have this in virtually every market back in the city? We didn't need to come all the way down here to have a cold bottle of Senor Quincy's.
Indeed, young Stevens. But sometimes in life,
What are you talking
it's better
about?
to seek out adventure and risk life.
I'm
and limb.
sorry.
It makes
I
the
honestly
world
have no idea what you're talking about.
Like the rich, sweet taste of an ice
Fox?
Senor Quincy's? That
I don't know what you're looking for. I was as upset as anyone else when I heard about his untimely passing. It was an absolute tragedy. Poor preening bastard was doing so much for the community.
Or the forbidden ruins of Cheese Pizzatopia.
Oh, blimey. I'm out of here. Hand me another bottle for the road.
I'm sorry. I'm not the right guy to ask about that. If you're looking for answers or closure, the police are still investigating the crime. I'm sure they're doing everything they can to find out who's behind Fox's death. What makes you say that? Sorry, name doesn't ring a bell. How does this relate to me exactly? I mean, I do business with a lot of people. It's always possible that I met him at some point. You know, it's funny. You wouldn't believe how many people there are running around saying they're friends with Vincent Corsetti. On any given day, a man in my position may meet dozens of people. I can't be expected to remember everyone I've met. Give me a break. Oh, right. That Leo. Yeah, maybe I know who you're talking about. Oh, yeah, Leo. I think he works at the pharmaceutical office. We have a lot of employees, though. I don't know them all by name.
Try to remember. When was the last time you made fondue? Do you have any spare cans of fuel in the basement? It's no use. The party will be ruined. You'll be embarrassed, and you'll probably lose your job and your wife.
How many times has this happened to you? Don't let another day go.
Listen, I understand how difficult it must be for you. You miss your friend and you're trying to find answers. But you're barking up the wrong tree here. I'm sure if you just give it some time, you'll find out that there are better days coming your way. One thing I've found in my years of doing business is people usually get what's coming to them. Listen, I'd love to keep talking to you, but I've got an important business call on the other line. I've got to go, but let's talk later. We have a lot to talk about. Goodbye for now.
Send check or money order for $39.95 plus $23 shipping and handling.
What the hell do you think you're doing?
Or call Ehrlichman Applied Sciences Direct, 555-1976. That's 555-1976. Operators are standing by.
Look, this is not a game. You shouldn't be speaking with Vincent. In my job, I sometimes have to observe certain members of the community. And I became aware of your recent contact with Vincent. Let's just say it's your tax dollars hard at work. But anyway, don't worry. It's not you that we're investigating. I really shouldn't be telling you this. It's classified. But it's for your own good. Vincent is being monitored by the government. His calls, his business dealings, everything. And from what I gather, you don't even... Actually, we shouldn't be having this conversation over the phone. You never know who's listening. I have to take care of some things, but whenever you're ready to meet in person, call me back. My time is valuable, but so is what I have to tell you.
Found the hidden temple of ultimate refreshment.
I'm pretty thirsty. This jungle heat is...
If the legends are true, just
So, you ready to meet with me yet? Because if you don't have the time to have a serious conversation, good. It would be in both of our best interests if I came to you. Meet me at the cul-de-sac in 60 minutes. I'll be expecting you.
Hello? Really? From who? Yeah, Eric Larson. We've met. What did he want? Maybe you should find out what it is. I get the feeling he might be able to tell us something worthwhile.
You're late. Very late. I assume you have a good excuse as to why you kept me waiting by the phone. As long as you have a good excuse. It's really close, you can walk there. I'll see you in a few minutes. Glad to see you made it. Glad to see you made it. Nice to see you haven't lost your wit, even with the gravity of the current situation. You're here because we need to talk. There's a hell of a lot more to Daniel's murder than you think. There's a number of things I can tell you about him. I told you we've been keeping an eye on him, didn't I? The man leads two lives. In one life, he's a businessman, an occasional philanthropist. That's the guy that came backstage at the fashion show and was checking out houses in the neighborhood. The other life is one that not too many people know about. That's the Vincent Corsetti you really don't want to deal with. He's like a snake without the charm. That Vinny is a high-ranking member of an incredibly powerful mob family in the city. Your little detective work just revealed the tip of the iceberg. Frank Fox noticed some shady dealings going on at his old office. The perps wanted to cover their tracks and hired some mob enforcers to tie up their loose ends. That's why the trail you were following led you to Vincent Corsetti. It was his thugs that killed Daniel. Thing is, once Vinny got wind of the deal, he decided he wanted a bigger piece of the pie. He snapped his fingers and suddenly everyone with any knowledge of the bookkeeping errors disappeared. Frank was the last link. My suspicion is that they killed Daniel thinking he was Frank. Not that I need to even say it, but do yourself a favor and don't get involved with Vincent again. It's not safe. No, that's not what I'm saying. It's just that, are you really that forgiving? Or did you just block that whole ordeal out of your memory? I really thought the locket would stir up something in you. But I guess that wasn't the case. What did he do to you? You gave it back to me before you left town to start your life with Vincent. I couldn't offer you the lifestyle you were looking for, and so I let you go. When you called me to ask me for help, I didn't know what to do, but I offered to help you in any way I could. But when you didn't show up when you were supposed to, I suspected the worst. I thought you'd left us for good. I thought you were dead. For all I knew, you just dropped off the face of the earth. When I was brought in to investigate Vincent's shady business operation, I thought I'd find you with him, but I didn't. Then I got word that he'd found someone that he was looking for. Some kind of unfinished chapter in his life. Yes, Mary, I'm talking about you. Looking into Vincent allowed me to find you again, but you had a new life. I didn't want to step in where I wasn't wanted. But now I have to. You're getting too close to Vincent, and trust me, he's not the kind of person you want to get involved with. There is one thing I have to ask you, though. There's a period of time where I couldn't find any records for you, like you vanished off the face of the earth. What happened to you, Mary? You're Mary. Can't you even remember that? Take another look at that locket I gave you. One face should be pretty familiar to you already. We took that picture. at the Wood River County Fair. That was long before you got involved with Vincent, of course. It's us, and I know somewhere in the dark recesses of your mind you know it to be true. What I don't know is how you can black out on an entire section of your life. Just as stubborn as ever, I see. You'll come to terms with this on your own. Believe what you want to believe. But do me one favor. Stay away from Vinnie Corsetti. You've got to trust me on that.
Hello? Yeah, me too. I've been going over everything I know about Daniel's murder, and I need to talk to you. In person. Meet me downtown, ASAP. I'm on my way now. If you leave right now, we should get there at the same time. Bye.
Glad to see you finally made it. So, now that you're here, we need to talk. Whatever. We're here now. We'll talk now. So, I've been piecing together the evidence. There was a lot going on the night Daniel died. The Solises, the Scavos, the Van de Kamps, even your son was out that night. One thing we know for certain is that two people were up to committing murder. Sure, we have some evidence, but we're not done yet. No, we can't do that. We don't know what could happen. You don't realize how deep this goes. I thought I could get away from them. I thought if I moved and kept to myself, they'd never find me. I mean, I couldn't even find Fairview on a map. How the hell did they find me? I know. It's all my fault. I should have told him. I think now's the time we do something, but I don't know where to start. There's still one thing that's bothering me. How did that Leo guy know Vincent Corsetti of all people? It doesn't add up. You've been holding out on me? It was convenient timing when he showed up, wasn't it? Just when things started to get fishy. All right then. It's up to me to make the next move. We'll find out soon enough.
Most people's lives are driven by fear. Fear of hidden dangers. Fear of secrets being discovered. Or fear of the unknown. But sometimes, what we think may be a demon lurking in the shadows turns out to be merely our guardian angel in disguise.